I gotta get my sweet potatoes out of the ground. So let's see. I'm gonna do that right now. I had the sweet potatoes right here. They did phenomenal. When I say phenomenal, I mean this vine reached all the way across the garden. And sweet potatoes are my favorite. Furthermore, this is a special sweet potato from Baker Creek. Hold on. Oh yeah! I was worried that I would lose them. Wow, 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 oh my. This is a, wow. Wow, you can't even get this in the store. Yo! Look at this. Do you see how purple this stuff is? Look at it, it's bleeding purple. Look at this, look at this, look at this on the leaf. Look at that. You can't get this in the store. Oh, this. Wow. Wow. There's another, I think the original one was in there. Oh my, that made my day. It was only one of them, but that made my day. Yeah, that was the only one I could find. I am gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it and start, I'm gonna cook with that tonight. Okay. I should probably get like a patent on it or a trademark, but I'm gonna make my dish. My Buffalo cauliflower dish with this tonight. It's happening. All right, this is my recipe for Buffalo avocado cauliflower. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you through how I do all these steps. Let's go over the ingredients first. I don't have things like, sometimes I use just whatever vegetable oil, cheap stuff. I'm guilty, but do have olive oil. I just don't cook with the olive oil. So things that aren't here, some of the spices, I'll go over the spices in a second. But you know, we're gonna serve celery and carrots on the side. We use cauliflower, cilantro, fresh cilantro that we keep nice and fresh, right? Got some ginger from the supermarket, turmeric from the supermarket, lemons, limes. This is a purple sweet potato I grew myself. I'm gonna use an avocado as a replacement for cheese. Cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes. You can use whole tomatoes. These are just, you know, easy to look at and use and eat. You want to use an onion. I like to use a yellow onion, a white onion, because the red onion, the spice from the red onion, I don't really want to mix it with this dish. And I've got some shiitake mushrooms. Now, I don't know if the shiitake mushrooms really do have a place in this meal. I'm just trying to incorporate them in there for health reasons. So let me get going with the first steps. All right, the first thing I do is I prepare the pan. So I lay down some oil. I cook with the cast iron skillet. The other stuff, I do it all by eye. I get about that much oil in there. We're just preparing the pan. Everything is cooked low heat, very low heat, all the way low heat. And we're just gonna add some stuff in here. This is Italian seasoning, oregano, marjoram, thyme, basil, rosemary, sage, just health stuff. Put however much you want to put in there. We're basically creating a tincture. We're taking all the compounds in these herbs. These are all medicinal. Cayenne pepper. Good for circulation. I believe it's antiviral, antifungal. Adds a little bit of heat. And it's good for, also, if you ever cut yourself, you can, this is a clotting agent. So If you cut your finger, just dump some cayenne on it and it will clot your blood immediately, like the military uses Celox, I think it's called. Black pepper, I'm not gonna do it one-handed. Good flavor, and it's got something called bioperine in it. It increases the absorption. I add turmeric, fresh turmeric. I take the knife and I scrape alongside it and it creates shavings, and I'll show you what it looks like as I'm done. I also add ginger. Now ginger is my favorite. The most important stuff to this, the creation, I like to use a lot of ginger. The first thing that we're going to cook in here is the cauliflower by itself. We're going to cook it for about a half an hour to 45 minutes. And I want this ginger flavor to be absolutely fully absorbed into the cauliflower. People who are familiar with fresh ginger, it's spicy, but it's also sweet. And so I put Frank's Red Hot on the cauliflower. And after you get the kick from the Frank's Red Hot, it transitions into this ginger. It's gonna kick you in the mouth. Not like spicy, like ooh too hot. You're not gonna know what happened. So let me prepare this, and then we'll get on to the next steps. So while I've been getting everything ready, the pan's been on very low, and it's just heating up. We're extracting, for example, turmeric is absorbed into the human body at greater efficiency if it's heated up and accompanied with a triglyceride or an oil. But we're gonna heat it on low because we don't want to destroy everything, and just mix it around. It's just a marinade, really. This is the central flavor, and that's why we're cooking the cauliflower in here. Now, one person serving is approximately a half a cauliflower. I left a little bit less on this one. Every cauliflower's size is obviously different, but we just put it in here, all equal size, because we want it to cook evenly. And I go by sight, based upon how much cauliflower to put in here, just based upon how much of the pan it fills up, and that's a good amount. One thing you can, I do not cook with salt. I add it at the end. So the next step is to put the pan on. It'll simmer cook, and then it'll create a small little steam bath in here. Now, to get this thing going, we do have to turn it up just a little bit. Okay. Now, you'll see the other burners. Come on. Hold on. See them go on? And now I just reduce it as low as they can go without disappearing. And that's about the level of heat that I want. I listen to it. If it starts to boil too quickly, I know it's too hot. And you want it, this is going to take 30 minutes to 45 minutes to cook. It's now 12:52 a.m. An unorthodox type of schedule, but we'll see how long this takes to cook. The next step, we're going to prepare the sweet potatoes, the mushrooms. Then while those are cooking, we're then going to create the avocado mix, and then everything will all get put together all at once. And if you wonder why I got so excited over these sweet potatoes, this is I can't remember the name of it. I'd have to go look it up. It's like maloca. This is not the typical purple sweet potato that you find in the supermarket. From what I understand, this is a special purple sweet potato. And look at the color of this. I didn't even turn the heat on, and it's so the reason why we're boiling these, we're gonna parboil. We're gonna parboil these. Look, these are tubers. They're growing underground. Need to sterilize them. So we parboil them. Well, past parboiling. So once it reaches a boil, I look at the clock. I keep it going for about 3 minutes. I want to kill any of the bacteria and virus and whatever that's in the skin and just below the skin. Has to be done. And we have to get rid of the water as well. But so that's the one step. It's just a few, like, they're not going to be French fries per se, but kind of like French fries. Here I chose to use 2 shiitake caps. Now this is experimental. You don't have to do this. The reason why I'm boiling these, bring it to a rolling boil, is a lot of mushrooms have something inside of them called agarotines, and agarotines are a type of hydrazine. They are classified as carcinogenic. Now there's debate within the myco community whether or not these hydrazines are dangerous, whether or not it's worth it to neutralize them, to kill them off by boiling or cooking. Hey, Paul Stamets says that you should. I'll take Paul Stamets' word for it. When push comes to shove, and I myself have looked at the literature. So, mushrooms are a great source of vitamin D and B12, and they grow natural. There's some people who say not to eat mushrooms. I personally have a problem with the consistency of them, so I have to hide them in food. I can't just eat mushrooms. And as that's parboiling, and that we're going to bring to a rolling boil for 15 minutes, then we're going to flush the water out. I'll probably cut them up and I'll add them into this mix. We'll see. By now this lid will be hot. You see, the cauliflower is starting to turn yellow-orange. Things are starting to bubble. Oh, that's nice. Make sure to stir it regularly so that it doesn't burn. Look at this. By the end, everything's going to be a nice yellowish orange. Oh, back on the lid it goes. It's been there for, that's 10 minutes worth of cooking. So the next step will be to, so the next step will be to chop up the onions, the tomatoes. We'll get everything ready. As soon as this is done cooking, we start cooking the potatoes with the onions together, and that only takes about 3 or 4 minutes. So now I clean up and I get ready for the next part. I'm just waiting for this to boil. As you can see, it's already begun. Look at that. And these are getting nice. You do have to make sure to dunk them, because these are dirty. We have to clean them. I'm boiling out bacteria that may be living in the gills. It's very important to understand the cleanliness behind your food. I mean, this was grown 500 feet. No, not even a full football field. This was grown 200 feet from here. From this thing, 200 feet. So I know what's in it. Okay, the potatoes have been parboiling for about 5 minutes. Turn them off, let them cool. I'll drain this. Look at that water. Oh, look at that color. That's all antioxidants. I'll drain this. Let them be. The onions and the tomatoes, I just have them. Onions and the tomatoes are ready. It's visually equal portions. It's up to you though. And as I'm waiting for everything, let's check on. Oh, you hear that? Let's check. I gotta put the phone down. So let's check on this. It's bubbling a little too much for me, to be honest. So I am gonna lower it. But remember I said it get a nice yellow orange color. There we go. So after I put the lid back on, I'm just gonna clean everything up and get ready to put everything together. Alright, it's been a little bit less than 30 minutes. As you see, I'm getting a little bit of crispiness, a little bit of browning on here. Things are starting to yellow up a little more. They're still a little, I want to soften them up, and that's why that extra 10 to 15 minutes is key. Besides, we're still getting everything ready, so I'll put the lid back on. And we'll move on to the avocado, or the replacement, which is basically the replacement for blue cheese, because the avocado is creamy, and any type of oil or fat is just going to melt. Now, I add cayenne. I like Frank's Red Hot. Frank's Red Hot is aged cayenne peppers and chili peppers. I do have chili pepper, but I just stick with cayenne. And I like spicy food. So that's why I put the cayenne in here, just to give it that kick. Now, I'll add lime. And I add lemon. Oh, careful of the seeds. Now, I said I don't cook with salt, which is true. But I do add salt. I don't know where it is. I'll have to find it. But I do add salt to this because I added lemon and lime. Watch what happens when you add salt and citric. It turns into an electrolyte. So we're not just eating for flavor, we're eating for health. So I'm going to take a fork, I'm going to mash it up, mix it up. Everything's just about coming together. Now, in my rush, in my excitement, because the supermarket hasn't had purple sweet potatoes, and we do eat with our eyes, so I like the color contrast. Not only that, but the purple is an indication of antioxidants, which is really healthy. In my rush, one thing I forgot to add was beans. The reason I'm not going to add beans is it'll take about 2 hours to cook. Also, if you're eating beans, there's 2 reasons why you should soak beans overnight. First of all, phytotoxins, phytoestrogens, estrogen mimicking compounds in legumes, and phytotoxins which block the nutrient absorption. So you have to soak these. Have to. Not only that, but soaking reduces some of the insoluble sugars which are responsible for gas. So restaurants that don't soak their beans are being lazy. They're making you gassy, and they're poisoning you with phytotoxins. It's preventing the nutrient. This is one of the arguments against going 100% raw vegan and eating raw tree nuts. So let me gather everything together. I think the mushrooms are just about ready. They've been boiling. Now you see the color of the water. All that air is leaving when I submerge it. I'm not an expert at this, so I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest with you. I just know that I need to neutralize some of the compounds in here, just like I boiled off some of the stuff that was in the potatoes. And I'm going to get these, I'm going to let them cool, I'm going to cut them up, and everything's going to go into like a stir fry right here at the end. And that'll be the other half of the dish. So let me get everything ready. I'll show you last minute, the final step. Sorry. I'll show the final step in getting all this stuff together. Boom, the final steps, and then I'll put it on the plate, and it'll be all presented. Okay, this only cooked for 35 minutes, but I'm hungry. So just in case you're wondering, this could go for another 5 minutes, and the heat's a little high. So I can't do this one-handed, but I'm gonna tip the pan one way so that all the oil goes to, say, that side, and then I'll scoop all the cauliflower up to that side to try and get not so much oil. Because it's gonna go in this pan. I'm gonna mix it all up, and then we're gonna throw it in the toaster oven just to keep it warm and just to kind of cook everything in there. And then we're gonna throw this with the mushrooms, potatoes, onions, and the tomatoes. Tomatoes I like in here. They add sweetness, they add sugar to it. We're going to throw that in there. We're going to turn up the heat. We're going to cook it all on high. And while that's happening, I'll show you, and then I'll get ready for the presentation. Just gonna mix them up real quick. And as I said, just gonna throw this in here. Really just to keep it warm. A little bit more oil here. And I want to not make French fries, but I do want to crisp the potatoes, and I just want all that stuff to cook. And it's cooking fast. And I'm going to get the presentation ready. This is about what I'm looking for. So let's get it on the plate. Alright. Avocado, cauliflower, potatoes, onions, tomatoes, shiitake mushrooms. The one that I have in the fridge just happened to have lime. It's okay because I put lime on this anyways, right? Cilantro. Okay. Got some salt. I can't do it one-handed, but you get the point. Just for some finishing touches, throw a little bit more lemon on there. A little bit more lime on there. Hey look, it came with a spoon. And in case you're wondering, yes, this can be adapted for two. I just need a bigger bowl because I don't feel like separating this presentation. And here you go. Here is my cauliflower, buffalo, avocado, cilantro, carrots, celery. I mean, I could eat it every day.